We've been talking this week about some practical things that we can all do to make sure that 2023 is one of the best years, if not the best year we've ever had. There are some things, some scriptural principles that we can each apply that if we're committed to them and we stick with it, then we can really have a fantastic year. We can have a year of fullness and joy and fulfillment, purpose, difference making. And this is what I want for you. I want 2023 to be your best year yet. Now, this thing we're going to talk about today is going to sound wrong. It's not going to sound right when you first hear it, especially when we talk about New Year's and resolutions and things that we think about for making sure 2023 is the best year of our life. We think about these things and setting ourselves up for success. All of those things are self-focused. And so this thing I'm going to tell you today is going to sound a little different. This is why Jesus a lot of times would say, "You have heard it said, but I tell you." He was trying to help them understand that this is the way you've always thought, or this is the way you've always been taught. And what I'm about to teach you is going to sound different, and it might not even sound right, but give it a chance. So Jesus would say, "You've heard it said, but I tell you." And I just want to say to you, when it comes to resolutions and thinking about your new year, you've heard it said, but let the scripture speak to you, that one of the ways you can have the best year ever is to be others focused. Less self-focused and more others focused. Now that sounds different, especially at New Year's, because when we start making resolutions, most of us have resolutions that center around ourselves. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get my finances in order. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And most of us make resolutions that are centered around making ourselves better, making ourselves more of what we want to see in ourselves. And there's nothing at all wrong with that. However, a proven way, a scientifically proven way for you to have more joy, more fulfillment in life, and to feel like you have a sense of purpose is to be others focused, is to think about others, is to take your mind off of yourself long enough to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see the world through their eyes. And that might sound scary and it might sound difficult. It might even sound like something you would never consider doing. But let me ask you to consider this. It's also a scriptural mandate for those of us who follow Jesus. We are instructed in the book of Philippians to do exactly this, to take our mind off of ourselves and think about the needs of others, and then to step into those needs and serve them. Philippians chapter 2, here's what Paul says to Jesus' followers. Philippians 2, 3 and 4, "Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but also for the interests of others." So yeah, take a look at your own interests, make resolutions about yourself, but also add to that looking to the needs of others. I love the way the Message translation takes this verse. It says, "Don't push your way to the front. Don't sweet talk your way to the top. Put yourself aside and help others get ahead. Don't be obsessed with getting your own advantage. Forget yourselves long enough to lend a helping hand." Those are great words. Forget yourself long enough to lend a helping hand. There is something inside your DNA. You are wired somehow from the factory. You came designed by God with a genuine need to look to the needs of others. And what happens when you do is you get fulfillment. Something happens in your brain, and scientists can't explain it, but happiness is increased, joy is increased, depression is decreased when you start to look to the needs of others and step into those needs and help them. So we're going to have a great year, 2023. Be less self-focused and more others focused. Check on your elderly neighbor. Help your friend at work. Call somebody that you know is down and out and just needs a little help. Step into some ministry somewhere and start to serve on a regular basis. When you do, you open up the door for God to give you joy and fulfillment and peace and purpose. And there's nothing in the world like serving another person, by the way. This is exactly why Jesus came to earth. Not to be served, but to serve. And as his follower, we must follow his example. So, want to have a great year? Be less self-focused and more others focused. And let God bring joy to your life. See you later.